Hi, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about that pesky fear of failure. Whatever you want to call that fear that is preventing you from actually really starting your business in a serious way. I'm going to tell you about the things that I have heard that I really feel like they need a little reality check. And that is about the fears. Okay. When somebody tells me, listen, I can't invest the money in this right now. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I can't sign up right now. I'm like, dude, you do you. Control your decision. That sounds great. When I hear, I am just afraid, that's when I go and I say, then let's talk about this. What is the fear? And I have been hearing, I've been hearing about this particular scenario. And this is what I want this whole podcast episode to be about, which is I want to make sure that whatever I sign up for is going to guarantee results. I want to make sure that whatever next step I take is going to get me to where I want to go. Otherwise, it was a waste of time and a waste of money. And I shouldn't have done it and I will regret it. So right there is kind of like already a lose-lose proposition, right? Immediately, right off the bat, just having those thoughts is an immediate lose-lose. Because what are the two scenarios, right? Scenario number one, you decide not to do it, okay? If you decide not to take action on something that you really want to do, you've lost the game. You didn't get it done. You will not get the results you want by not taking action. I happened to go to a gym today for the first time in a decade, and there was a big sign that said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So I'm here in the body of someone who says to themselves, I just need to make sure that whatever I do will guarantee results. And they decide, okay, I'm not going to sign up because I do not believe that this is going to give me the results. So when they don't take action, the shot is not taken. So it is missed. So you lose. If you do take action and the results that you're looking for is, I want something to give me money right away. I want something that is going to grow my audience to 1,000 people overnight. So if you have the list of results to be something that most people don't achieve even after a year, right? Even after 2 years, then you're kind of setting unrealistic expectations for that thing that you're signing up for. So you signed up, you didn't make money right away. You did not grow your audience to 1,000 people right away. In your mind, this has failed, and therefore it was a waste of time and money. So right there, just having these two options in this mindset is just a lose-lose proposition. So this is the situation. This is the exact scenario that I wanted to tell you about that needs a little bit of a reality check, because it doesn't make that kind of person, it doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them doomed to failure. But I do believe that if these are thoughts that you've been having, that with just a minor tweak to them, you can still succeed, okay? Just a minor tweak to that mindset. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. So to this end, I'm going to tell you a couple things. I'm gonna cut to the chase right now. I'm gonna tell you this entire episode is going to teach you that failure is inevitable and it's also not the end. Okay, depending on how you define failure, you will either feel it worse or you will feel better about it, right? So I define failure as basically a bump on the road. It's not a cliff on a broken railroad, right? It's not like, okay, I guess this is the end of the road, right? I define it as a bump on the road. It's something that is inevitable. It's something that is going to happen. And I'm just going to be ready to get back up or to keep moving over the bump and keep going over those bumps. So the way that I love to define success for everybody is to think of it as a staircase, okay? It has an upward trajectory, which is awesome because you know that as long as you keep taking action, you're going to be better off than yesterday, which is a great mindset twist to do to yourself, right? So this is where I start with really like the mindset tricks for somebody who's saying, I need to make sure that there's guaranteed results, right? I'm going to tell you, well, there are guaranteed results. The question is, how averse are you to failure, right? To going up a step and finding a wall. How How active are you? How persistent are you in trying to get yourself over the next step and over the next one and over the next one? Because every action you take will get you closer to the top. If you stay stuck, you just are not moving up. It would be really unusual and really hard to do something so catastrophic that you slide all the way back down to 0.0, especially if you're taking action on a consistent basis. Okay, so this is the first reframe that I wanted you to keep in mind. Okay, when you're thinking to yourself, I'm not going to invest in anything, or I'm not going to sign up for anything that is going to, unless results are guaranteed. And my results that I mean is I replace my salary and I live a comfortable life and I'm able to quit my job, right? Which is what we talk about here. I'm going to tell you right now, my salary replacement method, the one that you all get by email when you sign up for this group, that is a 1-year thing, right? You will never hear me say this is possible to do in 3 months, right? It's not that it's impossible, but I like to set your expectations in the long game, not in the short game, because the short game sucks and the short game ends because it's short. You're thinking of the long game. So what I wanted to tell you here, I haven't even gotten to the stories yet. What I wanted to tell you here is I'm going to assume that this is you, okay? That you have said to yourself, I need to make sure that success is guaranteed. Otherwise, it was a waste of time and money. Okay. I'm going to show you what a different mindset looks like. That different mindset is more of the long-term and staircase model, okay? You have somebody who thinks that way, and then you have somebody who thinks, as long as I keep taking action, there is no way to fail. As long as I keep meeting each challenge, I'm always going to be better off than yesterday, better off than last year. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't have that kind of time, then you're thinking of the short game. The short game is a lose game. Okay, the long game, that's when people win. I was actually chatting with one of my clients this week, and we mentioned the fact that our very own branding strategist, Tiffany Newman, she got featured in Forbes. This is great, right? And my client is telling me, well, I want to be discovered too. And I told her, that is the last time that you will say those words in that order. Nobody gets discovered. It's not a thing. It's a fantasy. People who make it to those levels have worked really hard and invest a lot of money in themselves to get there. And she asked me, like, oh, what about Tiffany? Then she we imagine that did Tiffany get magically approached by Forbes to write an article for them? And she was given an advance on the article, and she was, given 3 months to write an article for Forbes. That sounds like such a fantasy. That is not how things work. Tiffany herself will tell you, she and I are in the same program that we have invested in for publicity. In fact, she is the creative director for the program, for the publicity program that we're both in, right? But it is through investing in herself, through doing a lot of hard work, and through prioritizing publicity that she was able to make this happen, right? She did this herself, okay? So I want you to stop thinking of that I want to be discovered. Oh, everything is happening to other people, but it's not happening to me mentality. We have to put in the work and think of a long game. Otherwise, it's a lose game, right? So the stories that I'm about to share with you, the first story that I'm going to share with you is when I first started my business, okay? Suppose that I had I need something that is going to give me results before I invest in it attitude. So I signed up with my coach. And she was my first coach. I had never worked with coaches before. Okay, I had just gotten out of a really, really successful career in corporate where I was making 6 figures, and I just quit. I didn't have anything lined up. I just looked at my finances, and you guys have heard me talk about this. If you want me to reference it, I'm sure I can put the link in here. I just don't have it right in front of me. I'll put it in the description of the podcast too, of an episode where I talk about the 3 numbers that you need to have straight. Actually, no, 2 numbers. I haven't talked about this in so long, I'm forgetting about it. The 2 numbers you need to have straight before you quit your job, right? The number that you need to know, number one, is how much money do you need to keep your lifestyle the way it is? Okay? It is not equal to your paycheck. How much money do you need per month? Okay? And the other number is, if you were to quit your job right now, when would you run out of money and you would have to get another job? That gives you your runway, right? How many months can I do this without hurting my family, without losing my house, before I have to get back to work? You need to know those two numbers. So before I quit my job, I calculated those two numbers. And my husband and I decided, okay, I could do this for a year. Like if I made no income, if I made no money for a whole year, we would be okay. I just need to go out and get a job after a year. Okay, so I knew my runway and I knew how much money we needed every month. So I knew how much I needed to make in my business in order to really replace my salary, okay? Because replacing the salary wasn't 100%. Is how much do I need of my salary to keep my lifestyle going? Those are the numbers you need to know. So I had just quit my job, and my new coach, her program was the same amount of money that my side business was making on a monthly basis. So I was basically like the money that I needed to keep my lifestyle afloat, right? Which, I mean, this was peanuts. It didn't even match how much money I needed to make each month. But it was a good amount of money. It was several $100s. So that's how much her program was worth. And at first I was like, okay, I don't think I can give you that much. I don't think I can invest that much, but maybe I should do some stuff on my own for 6 months and then we can regroup and see if I really need you. And her answer was super wise. She said, well, how long have you been trying to do this on your own? And I said, about 3 years. And she said, and how's that working for you? I'm like, it really isn't. And I only have 1 year to make this work. You know what? Let's do this. It's a month-to-month thing. It wasn't a program. It was like, okay, month-to-month coaching. And I signed up with her and we worked together for 6 months. You guys, I didn't really make any money those first 6 months. But you know what I did? I learned everything I needed to learn about online marketing, about putting myself out there, about the importance of knowing what my people want before going out and creating offers, right? Which I still wouldn't listen to her about. So I'm like, I know what people want. I didn't. I ended up making no money during those 6 months. But it was one thing that I never did, regret working with her. Because I control my destiny, I control my money, I control my decisions. And I never looked at her and said, this is not working. In fact, I am to this day eternally grateful that she got me to where I am today. Even though I didn't make any money for those 6 months, I had a lot to learn, right? So that's kind of like my first story of failure. If I had been the kind of person who says, I really need this to give me results, you guys have any idea how bitter I would have been at the end of those 6 months, right? And look where I am right now. The year passed and I started to make money. And now I make good money. And I tripled my revenue from 2018 to 2019. I tripled it and I'm looking to triple it again the third year, right? So if I had gotten stuck there, if I had thought about the short game, I would have gone back to corporate. I wouldn't be like, clearly this didn't work. She scammed me, right? That's what those thoughts do to you. It gets you to a very skeptical place, to a place where you feel like, okay, fine, I tried and I failed. So what did I learn? Never try, right? So starting to think that way is already a losing proposition. Instead, the kind of person that I am is somebody who knows about the long game, who knows that if I learn the right things and I'm talking to the right people and I'm doing the right things, I am going up that ladder. I'm going up that staircase, step by step by step. Okay? You guys, I make good money in my business, right? My business is going well. Have I reached $1 million? No. But in that staircase scenario, I know the $1 million is one of those steps. And I will get there eventually, right? Right now it's about doing all the right things and putting one foot in front of the other. So when I was working with this coach, one of the first things that I did was create my website, because that's what I do. We all have a go-to thing that we do when we want to start a business, right? Some of us do a lot of planning, open up a spreadsheet, buy a new notebook, right? I'm obsessed with buying beautiful notebooks. You know what I mean? And open it and open a clean page and start writing, right? Like, if you guys are watching this right now, tell me what is like one of those things that you love to do when you're starting like a new idea. What do you do? Do you, if you're thinking about writing a cookbook, do you start just jotting down recipes or working on recipes? What do you do? What is that thing that like scratches that itch that you love to do, right? For me, I can make a website really fast and really easily. So that's basically what I did. So what I did was I did my market research. I knew what my audience was. I created my website, right? And that website served me well for about a year. And then I rebranded, right? I worked with Tiffany Newman. I signed up for her program and I rebranded. And now it looks the way that it looks now, right? With my red and yellow colors and all that stuff. So after I created my website, I said, okay, what's next? Oh, you need a freebie. Okay, I created a freebie. I posted it on the site. Okay, what's next? My coach tells me, you are going to be running a webinar and you're going to sell something there. I'm like, okay. So I went. I created the promotion for the webinar. I did everything right. And then the webinar day came and 3 people came. My really good friend, who's still to this day one of my best supporters. I love her to death. She got me set up with giving talks at Starbucks, with the Starbucks Women's Impact Network, right? Love her. She's always been a huge supporter of mine. And my cousin and my cousin's friend. I knew that none of them were going to buy anything from me that day. Now, that could speak to my money mindset issues. Maybe if I had been more confident, they would have, and I would have known how to talk to them. But I was so intimidated by the whole prospect of pitching and getting a 0 response, getting nothing. That you guys know what I did in that webinar? I talked for 2 hours, and I hosted the webinar on 2 different occasions, like on a Thursday night and on a Friday at noon or something. I hosted it twice. And in that webinar, I spoke for 2 hours straight about this stuff that I love to talk about. And at the end, I didn't give a pitch. I did not sell anything, not because nobody bought, but because I didn't sell. So I didn't make any money, right? I could have gotten up the next day and gotten really mad at my coach for leading me astray, for making me think that this was going to be it, for making me think that I was going to get 1,000 people watching this thing, for making me think that I was going to make money off of this. Instead, I owned my decisions. I owned my path. I knew this was an upward trajectory and I had just cleared a major hurdle in learning how to do this thing that I would rather be doing 1,000,000 times over sitting at a desk at work, right? I knew that I had learned something new. And I came back to my coach the next meeting and I said, well, that went great, sold nothing, but what's next? What do I do now? And she said, you're going to be doing a 5-day challenge. And I'm like, okay. So I went and I did. This was in May. The challenge was going to be in July. Do you guys know what I did in June? I recorded, edited, and posted an episode of a YouTube series that I called Commuting Bites every single day. Editing one video was taking me 7 hours a day. I was working day and night, not to mention that my newborn baby was now 8 months old, right? I had a baby to take care of at home. You guys, my path has not been easy. It has been a whole ton of work. And I'm going to go back to that first mentality. What would it have been like if I was the kind of person who said, I'm not going to sign up or invest in anything unless results are guaranteed. I'm not going to do this unless I know that that is going to take me where I want it to go, right? That's short-term mentality. You guys think I would have put in all that work? You guys think I would have come up with these ideas for doing a daily YouTube series? No way. I had an end goal in mind. So with that series, I increased my audience a little bit. I actually got to meet new people. I got people in the challenge. I actually got people in the challenge. And that's when my podcast started. That's when I saw somebody else doing a podcast during their challenge. And I'm like, I'm going to do that too. And I had been podcasting for a while. Podcast, again, that's something I could set up really easily. So I started podcasting my stuff right there in that challenge. July 2018 was the birth of this podcast, right? And then after that challenge was over and after I went through the whole post selling and everything, I believe I sold a couple of copies of a course that I had created, right? 2 copies. So did I make money? About this much, right? But now I was on a roll. My audience was growing. I was getting a few more people in the Facebook group. I was getting a few more people on Instagram. And you guys, this is like inching. But I was so excited about it. I was so thrilled that this was working, that in my staircase journey, I was still in, I hadn't even gotten to the first floor, right? I was like in the way ground floor, in the mezzanine, right? I was still outside the building, but I was getting there little by little. So this is just one story of failure. 2 stories if we count the first webinar that I didn't sell anything because I just didn't even pitch anything. If we count this challenge where I actually got a couple of sales. In fact, you guys, can you see how this works out? Everything builds on top of each other. One of my really dear community members who's here, her name is Jo. She has actually won a couple things in the group. She and I stay in touch. She was the first person to ever buy my course, ever. And I don't even sell that course anymore. And she's still here, right? And I love her. And I was talking to her because she is out in Australia where the fires are going on. I sent her a message, are you okay? So I want you to see that I could have just totally, if I had had that old mentality, if I had had that mentality of, I'm not going to do it unless it's worth it, I never would have met Jo, right? She never would have gotten the benefit of everything that I'm putting out there. I never would have gotten to practice. I never would have gotten my first sale, which went to Jo, right? So after all that was done, I said, okay, I'm going to try something new. And I kept trying things. So there's another story of failure. It's actually not my own. It's somebody else's. But I want you to see what this looks like on the other side, right? So I am here. I'm telling you my story of starting my business, not making money, not selling anything, really I don't know what the end of the year is going to look like, right? I'm supposed to go back to work at the end of the year. Am I going to, right? It's been 6 months. I have not made any money. What am I going to do, right? So towards the end of the year, I started following this other person. And here's something funny that happened. So this person was the mentor to someone else. And I'm going to have to give them names because I don't want to reveal names. Let me see. Let's say that my coach's name was, the coach's name was Daniel. And let's say that this person that he mentored was Patricia. You like those names? So Daniel is mentoring Patricia. Patricia is hosting her first live event. And it's happening, at some point in the fall. So I had heard about the event and I really wasn't interested in going to the event at first. But then I'm like, you know what? It's close enough. I could go out and meet people. I could take pictures. You know what? I'm going to go. And then because I had been following Daniel posted, he said, hey, for anybody who signs up for Patricia's live event, I'm going to host a workshop the day before the event. So come and learn all about, whatever it is that he teaches. And I'm like, that sounds amazing because I'm already going, right? So I get to meet him face to face and I get to learn from him. Oh, this is great. So I sent him a message and I said, hey, I saw your offer. Funny enough, I'm already signed up for the live event. Here's the receipt. I would love to attend your workshop. Now, I want you guys to understand that from his perspective, he was doing this to attract new people to sign up for the live event. He wasn't trying to offer a workshop to people who already were going to the event, right? So from his perspective, it's like, oh, well, that wasn't entirely the point, but okay, fine. Yes, okay, you're in. I'm like, great, oh my God, this is gonna be amazing. So excited. I get there. I'm the only one there. At first, I didn't know how to feel about it. At first, I thought, oh my God, if I were in his shoes, I would be devastated, right? He wasn't devastated. He didn't seem fazed by it. He's like, okay, it's just you. I'm like, okay. And then I started to see this in a different way. I'm like, wait a minute. This is no longer going to be a group experience. I'm going to get to talk to this person one-on-one. And I opened up my notebook, got my pen. I'm like, we're on. We're doing this. I'm learning everything I can. I'm squeezing your brain out for everything it's worth. Okay? So he did. He gave me everything that I needed to know. I'm like, this is great. Like, I can't believe I lucked out being the only person in what was expected to be a group program. Then, after the event was over, he sent out messages because he's launching a group program. And I'm like, I'm really curious to know how much his group programs would go for, because this is somebody who has a certain stature in the entrepreneurial community. And I'm here like, it's probably going to be like $25,000, which I didn't have at the time, right? But I'm like, I'm going to go to the webinar and just see what it's like, what the price is for working with him. So I went to the webinar and I saw it, and it was so like simple. It wasn't a huge thing. It was just like simple. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. If you want to work with me, I'm putting together a little group. Here's my email address. Sent him an email and said, let's talk more. I'd like to know what this is about. He gave me the price. It wasn't nowhere near $25,000. It was like a really, really low price for what he was giving. And I'm like, I must have this. I can't not have this. So I signed up. I show up the first day of the group meeting. Can you guess what happened next? I was the only one there. Again, his attempt to get a group together had resulted in me being the only person who signed up. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This gave me, having been through that experience on this side, gave me the perspective that when you're launching something, when you're doing something and only one person shows up, it's not a reason to be bummed out. Because you know what happened after that? I ended up spending like 5 weeks of one-on-one coaching time with someone whose time was worth a lot more than he was charging. I learned a lot. And then guess what I did after? I signed up for his bigger ticket coaching program. So he actually got me to be a full-blown customer from that experience. So on his side, trust me, he was going to be okay, right? He was going to be fine. On my side, I got the unbelievable experience of getting one-on-one teaching from someone who was as knowledgeable as he was. So here's another perspective on failure. What if you launch a program and only one person signs up, right? Do you think to yourself, I can't believe I'm putting all of this money and effort on one person? Do you think that? Do you think to yourself, I'm going to cancel the program because it's not worth it with just one person? I'll refund their money. What do you really think when that happens? I'm going to tell you what I thought, because you just watched me launch the Be Found program. And you guys, this was like, nothing was spared. I gave it my best to this program. I gave my best to this launch, because what I do is I like to work with people who are just starting out, who really are wide-eyed and they want to learn. They were like me when I signed up to work with Daniel, right? Oh my God, I'm the only one here. Yes, teach me everything, right? Like, that's the kind of people that I love working with. I'm like, yes, come to mama. I'm going to teach you everything that I know, and you're going to be off to the races, right? You're going to be skipping a few steps in that staircase, right? That's the kind of people that I love to work with. So, when I was launching this program, that's what I was trying to exude. That's what I was trying to communicate, that you guys, I can help you get those first 3 months of your business set up, right? I can make websites very easily. I make beautiful websites. I was telling people I have 100% satisfaction rate because we build it with your vision in mind. So there's never a surprise. There's never something that you don't like, right? So this is what I was trying to impart. And I made a lot of great connections. There were a lot of people who want to sign up for the next time around. But at first launch, only one person signed up. Okay? And that was my attitude was, oh my God, she is about to get the experience of a lifetime, because what was meant to be a group program has now turned into all of those bonuses, all of those challenges, all of that teaching is going to be targeted at her, and it's going to be a completely custom experience. So to me, the best thing that can happen to any student is that they sign up for a program and they're the only ones there, because that happened to me, and that's exactly how I felt. A completely customized experience, right? And then, so I went to the store this weekend and I bought the materials for the welcome packet. And I love like doing like really good penmanship stuff. So I wrote on the folder, I wrote her name. Like I got things printed in supreme glossy paper, like just making this packet this weekend. I was so excited about it. And I'm like, I can't wait for her to get her hands on it. I can't wait for her to see this. This is going to be amazing. She's going to walk away like blown away. And as I am shopping for these things, I said to myself, well, I'm going to buy 2 of them because there's still one more sales call that is pending next week. I'm going to buy 2 of them just to kind of like bring that into the world, right? To put that out in the universe that I'm ready for this to be a group. I'm going to buy 2 of everything. And by noon, like 2 hours after I made that decision to double up on everything, even though the launch was already over, 2 hours later, we got one more person signed up for the program. And I was so excited because I didn't even realize it until midnight that night when I was writing out emails for the workshop that I'm going to be running and I'm advertising this week. I was writing those emails and I was looking at my tags and people signed up and everything, and I noticed something strange. Like there was one person missing from my list, and I'm like, why is she missing from the list? So I went to her profile in my system, and I saw that she had the tag for having been signed up to the program, and I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? So if you guys are like into manifestation, I feel like I totally manifested that. But it made me feel so excited. I'm like, okay, we have a group now. This is going to be such an intimate, amazing experience for them. Again, I still have one more sales call to go. So there's a potential for it to be 3, but that's not the point. It's not about the numbers. It's about you doing something that you love to do, and you do it every day regardless of the outcome. So what I wanted to tell you was, anybody with this mentality of things need to be guaranteed to me before I even start would never have made it this far. Would have been looking for the quick results, would have been complaining after every single program that they sign up for, seeing that they're not there after the end of the program. That's the kind of person who quits too soon. That's the kind of person who brings themselves down. That's the kind of person who is not creative enough to keep going up the staircase. And I don't want that to be you, because it has nothing to do with what's inside of you. You are a very smart and resourceful person, and you can do this. So don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do this to yourself of putting yourself down and giving yourself a deadline. Give yourself the opportunity to think of your life and the lifespan of your business as something that is long, as something that will continue to go on, and that you're going to love every minute of it. With its ups, with its downs, you're going to get back up when things don't work out, and you're going to remember that you're helping people who need you. Right? So I am super excited with my program, and I can't wait until we run it again and we welcome more people into it, right? And we welcome more people who are going to have a beautiful online presence, and they're not going to know exactly how to use it, right? To get themselves out there so that within a year they can replace their salary, right? Like that's the point. That's the point. to be able to start making money doing something that you love without quitting your job, so that one day you can replace your salary and do whatever you want. That's the whole point of this, right? So this is my message to all of you out there who are thinking, who are not, who are not thinking about the long-term game, right? For all of you who I spoke to directly, who were telling me the reasons why they couldn't join the program, I want you to know that I'm here for you, right? That you are making the right choice by the simple fact that you're taking control of that choice. And I commend you for it, and I love you for it, and I'm going to be talking to you later to see if this is what you need, because guess what? There's a possibility that all these friendships I've made, maybe some people don't need what I'm offering. And guess what? That is totally fine. I want them to know that it's okay. That this is not like, oh, you didn't sign up for a program then, whatever. I want you to know this home is open anytime, and that you are doing the right thing by taking control of your life and doing what you want. We had someone, I hope you don't mind me saying it, I'm not going to identify her, but we had someone who said, Ina, I feel like your program is exactly what I need. But right now, I really need to focus on a lot of stuff that is going on at home, and I feel like I can't divide my attention. I told her, that is amazing. This is what you need. This is what you need for your life. So go and do it, right? It didn't prevent me from telling her, these are some offers that I have on the table. Do they work for you or not? And if the answer is no, we'll talk soon, right? So it's having the attitude of, it's not all about the sale. It's not all about the money. It's about you being able to help people and doing what you love. And I want everybody to be able to do that. That's why I'm in this world. That's why I do this. That's why I have this podcast. That's why I do the Facebook Lives, because I want to get this really ingrained in your brain. So I wrote down 3 qualities of someone who's definitely going to make it. Okay? I want you to see yourself in these 3 qualities. Okay? Are you ready? Quality number 1. That thing that you do, you love doing it so much that you don't care if you're not getting paid. Because if you stopped doing it, which is actually point number 2, if you stop doing it, you feel like you would die a little bit inside. So it has nothing to do with the money, right? It has to do with doing something that you love so much that you would do anyway. So point number 2 of somebody who's definitely going to make it is that you're never going to quit doing this thing, because you love doing it so much. So whether it's a business or a hobby, this is something you're going to continue to do for a long, long time because you love doing it. So we got, you love what you do so much that you don't care that you get paid. You will never quit doing it because you love doing it so much. And lastly, you see failure as a bump in the road, as just another step in the staircase. And you think of the long game, not the short game, not is this going to guarantee anything. Nothing guarantees anything. There are no guarantees in business, in life. There's never a guarantee. You gotta bet on yourself, and you gotta do the things that are right for you. Okay? So I feel like I just ranted and rambled a lot, but it's really important to me that you guys realize that there's a real world out there, that it's not like I can just write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a strategy that you need to do to make money and replace your salary. Go and do it, right? Like that, like following those steps is kind of crazy, right? You gotta do what feels right, and you gotta think of it as a long game. So that's kind of my message for today, is that if there's one reframe that you can do, that you can take away with you in 2020, is that your life doing this thing that you love is long. And you're allowed to make different decisions in each stage of that business, right? If right now you can't start, then you have it in your mind to start it later, right? If you're ready to start, but you're not convinced you're going to get the results, think about it as one of those stepping stones. Is it a worthwhile stepping stone, right? I mean, I'm guilty of signing up for way too many things at once, right? So you know what I'm doing in 2020? I'm not going to sign up for anything else. I've signed up for programs that I haven't even opened. So this, in my little spreadsheet that I was telling you about, where I'm planning my whole year, I planned, okay, there's going to be one day a week where all I do is learn new stuff, actually crack open those programs, right? So do things the way that they feel right to you, okay? Make those decisions, but take control of what your decisions are, and know that this is a long game, and that as long as you're taking the right next step, you're gonna get there. It's nobody else's responsibility, fault, or guarantee to make sure that you succeed. It's all on you. So do it in a way that you don't feel any regrets about it. Okay? So that's basically a message that I had for you guys today. I hope you liked it. I hope it wasn't too preachy, right? My whole point was bring this back to reality. People who succeed are there in it for the long haul. You are in it. You can do this. Okay? Minor tweak, long haul, not short gains. All right. I think that's it. My son is still sleeping. If you're watching the video version of this, you can still see him right there, right? This is what I do. Mondays are podcast days. So I come here and I record. And apparently Mondays are now gym days. So I am working with my friend Riva, who is a coach for bodybuilders in between shows, right? To make sure that they keep a healthy lifestyle. And she's helping me try to get a little bit healthier. And I got to go to the gym today, which was kind of interesting because I hadn't been before, in a decade. So I hope you're all doing well with your resolutions. Right? It's only January 5th, January 6th. So good luck to you all. And if you can, because I would love to hear this. I feel like I was a little preachy, but I'm really no, I want to slap a sense of reality in what being a business owner is like. And this is what it sounds like when I talk about it. So I would love to hear from you if you watch to the end of this video, to the end of this episode, to leave me a comment and say what your biggest takeaway from this was. What do you think I'm saying here? And how did you internalize it? And what are you going to do differently in 2020 so that success, whatever way you decide to define it, so that success is inevitable for you just because you're going up that staircase. Okay? Tell me what you thought. What's your biggest takeaway? And for everybody who's listening on the podcast, you can just go to the Facebook group. inacoveney.com/Facebook will take you to the Facebook group. Click join. I will accept you right away. And then you can tell us your comments there. Okay? All right, guys. I will talk to you very soon. I am going to go and keep doing work because that's what we do because it's a Monday. All right. Bye, everybody. Nice to see you. Happy New Year. Bye. Yay, thank you for watching. If you like that video, remember to subscribe right here to get notified of new episodes, and don't miss the podcast version, Trailblazing Out of Corporate Life. Go look it up and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.